Welcome to Evilive, the live media commentary show that answers the question, what happens when Satan gets behind thee? Now, subscribe if you're new to the channel, because today we are reviewing What We Do in the Shadows Season 4, Episode 1, Reunited.
Hell yeah.
And it feels so good.
It really does. And can I just say, this is a long fucking time coming.
Oh my gosh.
We have been talking about doing a show on this since the first goddamn episode.
Yeah.
About time it happened.
Since you guys told me I should watch the film, and I refused to, and then you bought it for me, so I felt obligated to, and then I loved it, and then we just dove in with like head first into everything that was ever put out in this IP. It is brilliant. But we've never really had a show that we could structure around in this way, or the time, because we were doing so many other shows. So it's very nice that we finally have the stars aligning and we can get together for this.
Yes,
so
indeed.
I'm stoked. All right. Initial thoughts about this first episode returning. This is season 4.
I finally answered what the fuck happened, so that was great. Still, the best part is just the recap. Like, I lose it every time Laszlo's just like, fuck. When you see baby, or not baby Colin Robinson.
Oh my gosh. The boy. Just boy.
Love it.
Boy who's spraying out of the cavity of dead Colin Robinson's body. They all say the same thing too. So great. Yeah.
Well, it's because Laszlo keeps correcting him. He's like, no, that's not Colin Robinson. They're completely different people.
I've taken time to educate this boy.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to be picking up in their different places. You know what I mean? Like at the end of season 3, they all shipped off or like stayed behind, you know, depending on the character. And so I was kind of hoping for that. But I don't know. To strip away the mansion, which is, you know, home, would have been a really weird choice. And I just don't know how you would have had to introduce so many new characters as each of them are interacting in different ways. I really always have loved the intimate nature of this show, where if it's not the household, then it's the neighbors. You know, like they always kept it really, really tight knit, or you know, other wannabe like vampire killers for Guillermo. So I don't know. I was really excited with the way that they finally brought it all together, though I think it was a little clunky personally for me. But we're going to get into that in a second.
So that's funny. I thought it felt great. It was like the nice little, it was like getting a postcard. You understood their adventures without actually having to be on the adventures. Those were probably the only exciting parts.
Yeah. Well, this was directed by Yana Gorskaya. I don't know if I said that right. It was written by...
that was 100% right. If they say it different, they're wrong.
Yeah. You don't know your own name. I do.
Bastards. I mean, I don't. 36 years on this fucking planet, and I still get my name wrong all the time.
Is that 8? Yeah. So this was written by Wally Barham and Asia Lachey Bullock. It premiered July 20th. Now, we are behind as they've been released because we've been trying to sort of juggle and schedule and get things up and running and stuff, this channel being one of them. But now what we're planning on doing is doing 2 episodes back to back until we catch up, which will be in 3 weeks if my math is correct, and if not, then 4 or never. I don't know. Whenever we actually
we'll be caught up eventually.
Yeah. And when it's over, we'll be caught up. But these usually run around 10 episodes, so we should be caught up really quickly here. But yeah, this is something that you and I have talked about for so long, and it's so exciting to finally be able to have a platform to really get it out. So let's talk about this episode. Do you want to run down some synopses?
Yeah, so starts up great. It starts up with Laszlo just chilling on the couch, watching some home renovation shows.
That's my life, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's pretty goddamn close for me. But yeah, so comes in, the mansion's just in disarray, like completely disheveled. There's fucking raccoons and shit. And yeah, so Laszlo's just on the couch. Oh yeah, no, the boy, we're just watching these because this is the only thing that gets him to calm down.
Can we talk about boy real quick?
Yes.
Because I don't know if they intended it not to be spot on with the head replacement for Colin Robinson, but it's clearly not done well.
No, and I think that's part of the charm, to be perfectly honest. Because, I mean, it's a goofy fucking show. Like, do you expect it to be serious? So that's, right. I think the first 3 seasons lended it to that being acceptable. Because it's just so goofy, it's so bonkers. Like you don't expect anything to be real, and then like the practical stuff that kind of makes up for it.
Yeah,
like the wolves and all that shit.
So God, there's something about this show and how they put together the episodes and the sort of the universe that they're building with each new season, and how it sort of expands, but it still feels contained. It just feels rich and diverse and interesting and engaging, and silly. You know, even though there are some like concepts that are genuinely terrifying.
Oh yeah.
But it's still just, just funny and a lot of fun. I just love it so much. Sorry. So he's watching The Boy, who he refuses to call Colin Robinson because he doesn't want him to end up like Colin Robinson. He's on a mission to fix him in some way.
Yeah, and I love that, like the experimentation, like him explaining, this is what we've been doing. This is why he looks the way he does versus when you last saw him. Yeah. And just all the dumb shit he was doing to make sure that he wasn't a boring ass energy vampire like last time. It's just so great because with the finale, we got so much of him being like, yeah, we're fucking friends now. I was doing this because I knew what was happening to him, and I wanted to make sure to take care of him up until that moment and then after. So to see what he considers caring and nurturing after, it's fucking great. Like the moment where he's like, oh, my boy needs to be fed, and grabs the pail that was catching random water, dumps it out, and then dumps a box of Count Chocolate in there. It was great.
So
and I love how all of them just instinctually talk to him like a dog. It's so god funny. Like the only person that doesn't is Guillermo.
Yeah, the only person that can relate to this thing is the human, because he sees it as a human child. The either reincarnation or the spawn of Colin Robinson. It's like, how could you do this to a baby? He's like, no, God, he's not a baby.
So good.
He's the boy. Okay, so what did you think about Guillermo's reveal as his journey back? Because it opens with, we started with Laszlo and the boy, and then suddenly Nadja comes back with her creepy ass little doll friend, which is amazing. I love her so much.
Absolutely.
I have fantasies about her. Shauna, turn around. Don't listen to this.
I mean, who doesn't? You're just weird if you don't.
That's what I said. Give me the doll and Nadja, and we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
I can find a use for both.
I will displease both.
Yeah,
that's just great. Because of course the house is just fucking tore up. There's all these boxes that he's not doing anything with, and then finally Nadia's like, "Oh yeah, shit, I got you a present." Opens it up and he's gasping for air, freaking the fuck out. And he's like, "Oh, I guess that's what the banging was. I thought it was the pipes."
Yeah. Good news. Our pipes are fine. That is good news.
Oh, so goddamn good that they did that to him twice. Is the best part.
Shipped him off one way in the crate and then back in the crate. Did they not think he could just fly in a plane?
Nope. But hey, you know what? At least on the way back, she gave him extra Oreos and Pedialyte.
That's true. That's true.
That was good.
That's care. That's love.
It
really
what
that is. I love how she's so defensive too. I gave you extra Oreos and Pedialyte.
Well, then the best part is right before the reveal, they don't know who the fuck Nandor is talking about.
Yeah.
Like, Guillermo, who the fuck is this? This is my familiar. He's about this tall. I don't fucking know.
They're just so wrapped up in their own universe that they cannot ever think outside of it for, more than like a day's time. Because even like in the previous seasons when Guillermo's constantly with them, there's times when they're like, who? Like, it's just this ongoing gag of it. He's a familiar. Familiars don't count. They're not real. They don't exist. They're just here to serve us when we need them and to disappear when we don't.
Yep.
I always love that sort of, and Nadja's the best with that, I think. She's just so ruthless. It makes me want her more. Ignore me, Snot.
Like, she'd treat you like shit, but the moments that she pays attention, it'd be worth it.
Yeah, so that brings up, of course, the great gag of as soon as Laszlo and Nadja see each other, they're just like, I need to ravish you, my beautiful tulip. And, they're like trying to get up into the bedroom. And then freaking Nandor comes in his cock block and they sort of get, disoriented. He starts telling his story, and they just start going at it. And it's just like, it reminded me, and this is going to be maybe a little too revealing, so I'll keep the names and locations private. But it reminds me of like when I was in the military, and I hadn't seen my wife for a very long time. And then finally she was brought to me, and it was just like this endless array of 1 minute interval love. Of 1 minute disappointing love in a seedy motel.
God, fucking braggart there.
60 seconds right here. Suck it. Yeah. But it was just, of course, they were desperately in love with each other, and they just seeing each other after 1 year of being apart is all they need to just go crazy. And I love the invitation too. He's like, come on, old chap, there's a room in the rear.
No, thank you. I'll just sit over here and watch.
It's like, do you mean your rear or her rear or both? Like,
I don't think it matters.
Yeah. There's this really great scene between Laszlo and Nandor in a previous season where they were just like, well, I'm all hot and bothered. You want to go finish each other off? He's like, sure. And they just go into a room and do their thing. The fact that their sexuality is sort of reminiscent of Sweet Hell Anne Rice, of her vampires, where you're living for eternity. Mm-hmm. Gender and sexuality, those are mortal references.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I just love it so much. It's so great. And when we find is the wives is the next one.
Yeah, that's next episode.
So we'll talk about that second.
I mean, what do you mean next episode?
I don't know. It hasn't aired yet. Never mind. So then, they talk about how they're going to repair this house that is just falling. When Nandor first falls down, he's like, it smells of gas. So throw me a candle.
Yeah. Well, then to find out that the boy goes down there with a baseball cap and a candle tied to, or taped to it to swim around. Like, that's what calms him down.
So funny. It's just so funny. He passes out from not being able to breathe. Yeah, of course it calms him down. So, the house is in ill repair. Guillermo is fed up. He's like, I'm not going to stay here at all. And that, once he sees the boy, he realizes,
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, this monstrosity. Even the first time we saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, It was creepy. Like at the end of season 3, when it showed the infant, I was just horrified.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it only gets worse. Like, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Is you would think you would get used to it. And by episode 4, 4, still not used to it.
Creepy. 100% creepy. Even though it gets really glorious later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll get to that in due course. So Guillermo decides he's going to stick around. Nandor actually invites him to be his best man.
Was that this episode?
Yeah. That's part of what...
Episode.
Well, they do the filtering the next episode.
Oh, yeah, no, that is this episode. Sorry.
But
that's the fun thing about watching these all back-to-back. You kind of blend them all together.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a through story. It's one of the two running plots. So I just loved that. He was like, I don't want you to be jealous. And he's like, no, I'm not jealous at all. I think that's great. Who's the woman? He's like, well, I haven't met her yet.
Yeah.
Okay, good old fucking Nandor, of course. He does not relent with any of his stupid ideas. I loved it when he was doing the Michigan accent or the Wisconsin accent.
Yeah, the Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was so funny. God, there's this goth kid just giving him the side eye in every photograph. He's like, I was the one. Now you're the one? Damn it.
Yeah, that sucks. So fucking funny.
It's great. But ultimately, the whole point of all of this is that they all get back to the house. It's in total disrepair. They need to keep Guillermo there. Now we know what is going to keep him there, both being the best man and the fact they got to take care of the boy. And now he needs, for his own health and the boy's health, to fix up the house. But no one has any money. And they realize that Colin Robinson took care of all the finances.
Yep.
They have his bank card. So they reach out to the boy. Do you know the code? And he just gives him this. It took him 15 minutes.
3. 0, 1. Yeah, God, that shit's so funny.
It's just papers
And then
and papers
at
of
the
numbers.
15-minute mark, keeps saying it. He's like, "Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
This is stupid."
I was
like-
questioning at 10 minutes, but I stuck in.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. It's Colin Robinson. Why wouldn't you question it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, no, he's spouting off random numbers.
So stupid. Like in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just a glimpse in this episode, but Guillermo was talking on the phone to someone,
mm-hmm.
and it was clearly someone that loved him or cared for him. Like it alludes to Guillermo having a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he's not.
He even like blows it off. Like, I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good place.
So what's up with that? Like we've seen a few episodes at this point, but just for the sake of this one episode, it still hasn't been answered at all.
Mm-hmm.
At least that I've been paying attention to.
Nope.
So what the fuck?
I know.
Is it a boy? Is it a girl?
Well, I swear to God, at one point you hear the voice, and I'm pretty sure it is a boy.
I thought so too. But then I started thinking, wait, wasn't he... I feel like he was like making eyes with someone before, but I can't figure out who it was. I thought it was a girl, but it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. It's just I want to know.
The vampire fighting group that he was hanging out with. But I mean, yeah, it's a Taika Waititi property, and they're vampires. Like they're all bi.
Mm-hmm.
So it would just make sense that the familiar is too.
Yeah, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see him with a girl, even though I do like vaginas.
I mean, hey, who knows? We might get it with God, what's her name again? I always forget. The Guide.
The Guide. Oh, I love her so much.
But that's a different episode. We'll talk about that.
Kristen Shaw.
Fucking...
She's amazing in everything she does.
Absolutely.
Her voice, like on the outside, I feel like I should be annoyed, but I love it. Mm-hmm. Like I desperately, in everything she's ever done, especially Bob's Burgers. I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fan, but she's amazing in everything. Mm-hmm. I just love that woman. And she's such an obscure looking woman too. But when she plays her sexuality in later episodes, I'm in. Like, yes, please.
It's like, I've never looked at her like that.
Those images. Okay, we'll get there. Anyway.
Yeah, we will.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this episode, all these episodes really feel really tight and contained and probably 30 minutes too short for me. I want to live here much longer.
That is the one thing that it's sort of like I like and I hate about this is they're just traditional sitcom minutes. So it's like 24 or 26 with commercials. So, yeah, and then that's just so fucking perfect. And it always makes you want more. So I think they get it right with that.
Yeah. So in order to solve the lack of money problem, in order to fix the house, Nadja suggests a vampire nightclub.
Yeah.
Which.
And that's the best part, like, because then they're talking about her experience on her fucking basically walkabout where she thinks she's going to be supreme hot shit.
Right.
And then it's just boring as hell. And she thinks she's being so inventive with like, oh, we'll do a vampire nightclub. And they're all like, oh, God, everybody wants to do a fucking vampire nightclub.
Yeah.
So that's when she quits the Supreme Council and was like, fuck you. It sounds awesome. I'm going to do it.
Thing is like, it was season 1, right? When they destroyed a vampire nightclub. Like with the...
Was that season 1?
Was it season 2?
I think that was season 2.
Well, anyway, they go a night. No, it was number 1 when the vampire lord comes over and they take him out.
Oh, yeah. That was season 1. Yeah.
But anyway, they've been to vampire nightclubs, and so they know that they exist elsewhere. So it's not like there's a vacuum in order to be, they have a need that needs to be filled. Like it's a thing. So I just think it's so funny that they want to convert the council building into the vampire nightclub. And of course, the Guide wants nothing to do with that. Yeah, which I thought was just super amazing. Of course, why would she? As soon as they finally get like, oh, we have so much to talk about and catch up on, so much business. She's like, no. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, and that part of episode 2, just like the whole going in, that gets me.
Yeah. Well, it just gave me more love for the Wraiths to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Especially later in the season. So, yeah, her plan is to do something that no one wants to do, which is build a nightclub, except, of course, her flatmates. And then Guillermo decides to stay. Nandor needs to find a wife. Laszlo wants to raise the boy, and the boy is just sort of the glue that keeps this dysfunctional family going, and that's kind of episode 1.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So what was, and just, to sort of give props, because I think they deserve it. Kayvan Novak is Nandor the Relentless. Matt Berry is Laszlo. Cravensworth, who, I gotta say, he's turning into one of my favorite characters.
How was he not before?
He wasn't. He really, really wasn't, because he was the guy who reminded me of the guy who was the reason I didn't want to watch this in the first place. It's obscure for everyone else, but that's all I want to say about that. Then Harvey Guillén is Guillermo de la Cruz, and he is great in everything, even the Geico commercial that he's in. Yep. There's something about that man that I want to see him in more properties, because when he was in that werewolf film, I can't remember what it's called, damn it. It was made after a video game or something like that, but he was great.
Oh my God, he's in that? I haven't seen that yet.
That's, you've got to see that.
Wolf Among Us?
Yes, Werewolves Among Us or Wolves Among Us.
I haven't seen that yet. That's one that came out and I was so excited for, and then forgot when it was actually released.
Oh, dude, my wife and I had no idea anything about it, and we just saw the cast and we're like, oh, we're renting this for sure.
Yeah, shit, if I'd have known he was in it, I would have definitely made sure to watch that immediately.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters, but it's sort of an ensemble horror comedy like this is. Anyway, he's fantastic as always. Mark Proksch. I don't know how to say Colin Robinson's actor's name.
We'll just say Colin Robinson.
Yeah, but Colin Robinson is also Colin Robinson and Baby Colin. And then Kristen Schaal is the guide, and I'm so glad that she's a regular now, because she does that role so well.
Yeah, no, she's perfect.
And it just gets so much better.
Basically the sixth wheel.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. Her in the Wraiths.
So, of this inaugural episode of a brand new season of this property that has already been renewed for a 5th and 6th season.
Thank God.
What do you think? What was your favorite part?
Fuck. So, favorite part was definitely when Nadja first arrives, but before she decides that she wants to have sex. Just Laszlo, like, that is me to a T when I go like more than a day without seeing my wife.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, that's great. Let's go fuck. No, come on. Hey, let's go. Hey, you know what we're not doing? We're not having sex.
You may be asking yourself why we haven't finished having sex yet.
Yeah, we haven't started yet. So let's get to it. God, I love Laszlo so goddamn much. And having sort of a general understanding of who Matt Berry is, like, I feel like it's not even really a character. Like, I think it's just Matt Berry in vampire costume. Like, and that's it. Like, that dude's fucking hilarious and awesome.
Well, their romance is exactly what I grew up watching on the Addams Family.
Yeah, this is when the kids are away version.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that was a thing in my life. Fucking summer vacations. Yeah, no, because it's like I'm down. Like every hour of the day I am down, and the only thing that stops me from ravaging my girl is because of work, and then kids, and then sheer exhaustion. That's it. And even then I try.
Mine is just work and school. And I mean, she's convinced it's me, and it's like, no. If I'm awake, I'm down. Even if I'm not awake, all you gotta do is just look at me right. I'm sure everything else is gonna work. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
And I can call in sick to work. Like, oh no, my boss isn't gonna fire me. He's gonna fucking high five me. That's me clapping.
High five. Yeah, I deserve it. Do you look in the mirror when you do it? This is for you. Yeah. This is for you. Yeah, my favorite. I should have thought about this stuff before because I wrote the show notes. My favorite was it's got to be the lovemaking between them two. I love the dynamic of their relationship so desperately much. The thing is I don't even think Nadja is particularly attractive or sexy, or especially when she gets like sort of hyper aggressive. I don't find that attractive at all, and it actually like makes me less attracted to her. But I still am down. Like no matter what she does to make herself unattractive, it just draws me in more. And I don't know if I'm damaged or if she's just that good. Can't figure it out.
But I got a thing for angry chicks, so I mean it does it for me when she gets angry.
Yeah, and no one will get in my way.
Yes.
You're just like,
to use my big voice.
That's pillow talk, baby. So that's my favorite part, is them just going at it. And then he's like, they fall through the floor and he's like, drown me, baby.
Yeah. Drown me, it's so hot.
I heard your voice laughing in my head while I was watching that. And that made me laugh even more.
I was having a hard time, man. I first viewing of the first episode, I couldn't breathe most of it.
It's so good. Yeah. And it's one of those things where I'd look forward to it with my wife every week. And as soon as it comes, the day that I see it pop up on my feed, I'm just like, oh, Shauna, tonight. It's tonight. You know, we both get all excited, and then we sit down together finally when the day's over and we get to enjoy it. It's just amazing. So if there is a least, what's your least favorite part of this?
We didn't get as much raccoon as I would have liked to see. But the fact that we at least got some raccoons, and two, that Nadja kept confusing the raccoons with the baby or with the boy. That shit was so.
And she was doing like baby voices and stuff to the fucking raccoon. So funny.
Yeah. Oh, just so nonchalant. Oh yeah, that's not it. Ha ha ha. But no, I would have to make something up to not like about this show.
I think my least favorite was the reveal of Guillermo being in the box. Like it was, why wouldn't you yell? Like, why wouldn't you use your words instead of just knock? That doesn't make any sense to me. It was just, it's supposed to be illogical, but it just bugged me because of how nonsensical and illogical it was. You can yell through wood. You don't just knock. That's true. Just so dumb. But oh well, the fact that I get to spend some more time with these wonderful characters and these great actors, I will forgive anything. So I loved it. So if we had to give this thing a rating, what do you think your rating would be?
I'd give it a good solid 8, or not 8. Holy shit!
18 out of 5.
I would give it a good solid 5 evil eyes.
That's a lot of evil eyes. Yeah. What really gives it the max score for you?
That it's back. Like this shit, I look forward to more than holidays, more than sleeping. Like this shit it's my beautiful little escape from reality that I know I'm going to feel good afterwards. It's like drugs without, the expense or the regret.
It's true. It's really, really true. Because it just it kicks that dopamine off in your head. All those endorphins flood your brain, and you just feel great. What else does that? There's only like a few shows that do that. Like it's this British baking show.
See, and I would argue that one doesn't as much as this.
Oh, really?
Because that shit, it gets fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but I love that.
Like, I love it.
It's like
one
edging.
of my favorite shows. But like this, I can just relax and laugh my ass off like an idiot. That show, like if you were to stick a piece of coal up my ass, I'd be shitting diamonds afterwards. Every episode.
Well, as soon as it comes back, we're talking about that too.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we
are. So I obviously gave it 4 evil eyes. The only thing is that it's too short. I really think, like, as soon as it started picking up, I saw end credits, which just makes me angry. And then the Guillermo thing, I want to know who the hell this guy is he's hooking up with. Like, I need to fucking know. It better not be Chris Robinson, the fucking leader of their vampire group. Did he die? I think he's still out there, right?
Yeah,
the big black guy.
I swear all of them did, but I can't remember.
Damn it, I cannot. I got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
If we have time, I would love to go back and do reviews of the original.
Oh, we'll fucking make time.
Yeah, it'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
And then and that's why I gave it 4. So I don't know. It's a full win that is back, and I will never be disappointed. Even if it's a horrible episode, it's still better than virtually everything else that I watch or enjoy.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So it's just great. Anyway, so that is it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we move on to the second episode?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for tuning in. If you're catching us live or not, we are live. So, of course, if you do get an opportunity, you can chime in on your own thoughts and stuff. And like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live. So
that it is.
deal with it.